Well, you woke up much sooner than I thought. I had anticipated that your body would continue to be under the influence of the anesthetic for a few more hours. Due to the complexity of the treatment and my concern that you might rip your stitches, I advise you to rest as much as possible. Let's just say that if it weren't for your friend, he would likely be dead right now. Be sure to thank him when he awakens. What do you know, young Hajime? Putting yourself in harm's way to save someone. A conclusion that I did not in any way, shape, or form thought could happen. You must be important to him. I affirm that I recognize the fact that he placed his own life in danger for the purpose of ensuring your safety, both at the hands of the CCG and while you were undergoing surgery. Friends since childhood. Is that correct? This comes as a pleasant surprise. When we initially met, he was always very closed off and rarely opened his mouth, and naturally that made me anxious about the future he had in store for himself. Although he has never been much of a social butterfly, I am relieved that he found someone he can rely on through thick and thin. I'm sorry to break this to you, but I need to let you in on your current condition, as you had several puncture wounds and some of your organs were crushed. The procedure I had to employ to preserve your life was, to say the least, unorthodox. That is not something that is covered in any of the surgical specialties. Let's go back to the beginning, shall we? After the CCG incident, Hajime called me and urged me to take any measures necessary to save you. I was puzzled at first. He made me promise that I would do the unthinkable in order to rescue you. As soon as he entered the room, I saw how critical your condition was. The probability of you surviving was close to zero. Given that none of the tried and true treatments proved to be effective, Hajime proposed that I transplant a portion of himself inside of you as a last resort. I was against it at first. Indeed, you must be acquainted with our species, correct? After thorough consideration, I determined that this was indeed the only option available. We saved your life, but it came at a price. With the completion of the process, you became one of us. I am struggling to comprehend how your body was able to regenerate so swiftly. Perhaps your DNA is more sophisticated than I hypothesized. Perhaps, does anyone in your family suffer from a comparable circumstance? No? Even more reason to study it due to its uniqueness. Possibly, you have an idea of what you must do in order to ensure your survival? As much as it pains me to tell you this, no ordinary meal will be able to sustain your body. Your nutrition will have to shift radically. You will need to begin consuming human flesh. But have no fear. You will not need to murder bystanders on the street. We have a more efficient method for acquiring food since our primary objective is to coexist peacefully with mankind. When you're feeling a bit better, I'll introduce you to a close friend who provides for our species' nutritional needs, which leads me to my next remark. I presume Hajime went on several days without food, hence why he attacked that human. However, I've been informed that the man is now stable inside a hospital. Nevertheless, owing to shock, he has no memory of the incident. I don't think I need to tell you that, but your newfound reality is obviously something that should not be shared with others. If the allegations are proven to be true, I genuinely think our days of peace will come to a dreadful end, and a war will erupt, claiming the lives of countless victims. Not all of us have such a calm outlook on the future. There are extremists that operate in the shadows and have no respect for human life. They perceive humans as nothing more than cattle. They are willing to exterminate their own species in order to preserve what they refer to as the food chain. Be extremely cautious If you happen to spot one of them, run and leave the location as soon as possible.
Doctor.
Do not attempt to stand, Hajime. Your friend's condition is stable.
That's good. I couldn't stand being all alone again.
You are more resilient than you think, my friend. The connection that the two of you share is something truly special. Could you just make one promise to me? There is nothing I want more for Hajime than to see that he is well taken care of, and happy. I require your assistance with this, especially now since we are of the same kind, and I am unable to be there regularly. There's no one else I can trust with this. In my case, I was born this way. Over the years, my hair has lost its color, and my eyes have become practically lifeless. A ghoul's ability to remain in complete seclusion determined how long they could survive a few years ago. In the event that a ghoul was revealed, the CCG would instantly execute them and spread disinformation about it through the media in order to avert widespread fear. I vowed to myself that I would never be forced to watch a tragedy like that occur again. Since then, I've educated myself to be the expert who ensures the health and longevity of each and every one of our kind. Despite the fact that our bodies are more adaptable than those of humans, we would be unable to avoid death if subjected to continuous trauma. Therefore, if you require anything, you can rely on me. My name is Kanon Miyazaki, and I will be the one to take care of you from this day forward. And besides, there are still a few things concerning your genetic composition that need to be figured out. Can you please excuse me for a moment? I have a phone call to make. I will return in a few minutes with your pills. Lie down and rest in the meantime.